Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iGPFun-F3 series presented by North World Sim. We're here live at Autodromo Jose Carlos Paque, aka Interlagos, and it is a fabulous Brazilian day here in Sao Paulo. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Joshua Lee, and in the production booth with us it is Marco Barbernera. Josh, how are you today? It is a fabulous day here. About 62 cars lined up and about to get underway here soon.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, Interlagos, in the scope of other courses that we have been to this season, is one of the smallest and one of the fastest of the season. Not to mention, pretty tough going through all those tight hairpins through the second sector. And you can see right now going through the Senna S, another very difficult part of this circuit.
Yeah, the opening corner of this circuit is going to be absolutely crucial, especially on lap 1. And with this giant grid, it's going to cause a little bit of havoc, but throughout lap 1, it's going to be kind of a who's who of, hey, I'm here. Don't do anything stupid. But we've seen races that go from start all the way to finish nose to tail, because Interlagos, you have a lot of these tight, twisty corners, but not a lot of high technicality passing zones, because you could get it back in the absolute next corner. So expect a lot of side-by-side battling throughout the race today.
And I'd say expect a lot of wrecks, especially going through these middle sectors, because there's two very tight hairpins. You see the 26 going through one of them right now. And such a quick switch back over to the right side.
Yeah, you want to be very careful, especially in turn 1, that drop down going through the S.
Whoa.
Very easy to get the back end out of there. As Gianfranco Pagoda goes through the S's, and well, that opening corner is just so beautiful.
Pagoda now going through the very tight left-hander. This really narrows up the racetrack. They head up into sector 2. You can see barely 2 cars can fit through there. If anyone tries to make it 3 wide, definitely is not going to go well. They continue to go uphill. Hard braking for this hairpin, cutting it a little bit on the rumble strip.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the 60 is around.
Christopher Lolam hard into the wall, went flipping end over end. And this is in qualifying right now. You can see he just gets into the grass. This is coming up to one of the tightest corners. Very nicely done, but onto the curbs, just a little bit too much, and ooh. Ooh. Lot of debris and a very yeah, just very nasty crash.
Pagoda gonna finish out his qualifying lap. Already sitting on the pole, doesn't have much more to go up. We'll see if he can improve, and he won't. 27.816. That's gonna be about 1.5 tenths back from his pole time. But everybody else making their laps in, and we'll be going racing here very, very shortly as multiple cars come across the line. Everyone trying to use the draft of the car in front of them to get a slingshot on this lap. That draft could be important, and that slipstream could be important coming to the start-finish line, especially on that long straightaway.
Yeah, Interlagos is such a wide track. Very easy to get a good draft out of here. Kind of looks like a little bit of spot, but the dirty air does affect these F3 cars just a tad bit. Not as much as the Grand Prix cars, the Formula 3.5 does, but still it has a little bit of an effect on them through the corners. So you're going to be seeing a lot of draft trains like we do see at Monza or Spa, but the drafting does help, especially on this opening straight.
Mark Alcaraz coming onto the start-finish line. He's going to abandon that final lap, head into pit road.
Yeah,
Raul J. Hyman's on the track.
Yeah, I believe
Looks like he just
Hyman
finished a lap.
He's going into the pits as well.
I believe that's going to be the checkered flag on qualifying. Not sure if anybody else is out on the racetrack. So everybody makes their way back into pit road, and we'll be seeing that starting grid here for the race momentarily.
Yeah, 62 cars are about to be lined up and ready to go here at Interlagos. Just finishing up qualifying right now. And Alex Alcaraz, winner of the ARA F3 race yesterday. So he has some experience, and he'll be starting 4th place, looking to double down on there here on Apex Racing TV. As we're here on the grid, and I think it's time to go through our order. Gianfranco Pagoda starts up on pole, followed by Raul J. Hyman, Christopher Lolam, Alex Alcaraz, Stratus Carlo-Glitzis, Arthur Fry, Gavin Petty, Clark Williams, Marcus N.G., Lucas Verarni, Samuel Hermer, Matt Laubser in 12th place. They're followed by Vitolo Garcia, Alexander Wren, James Luis, Mark Alcaraz, Stuart Millen, Ben White, Philip Lucas, Sammy Venabalis, David Butler, Caitlin Height, Dave Martin, Zoltan Zomoter, Vladimir Cardella, Luis Perez, Andy Flint, Adam Talsma, Lucas Maruk, Chuck Morrow, Adala Boschetti, Chris Schott, Steve Rubens, Clemens Punzengruber, Zachary Beeson, Dirk Provley at 36. They're followed by Rickard Bogberg, Will McIntyre, Wojciech Potasik, Ron McGuire, Johan Bergerson, Ron Krolak, Daniel Bond, Christian Glamstetter, Antonio Ruzevsky, Giovanni Saletto, Russell Kirkwood, Martin Devine, Johnny Coco, JJ Gonzalez, Alex Hopkins, Andre Santos, Gregory Meismer, Patrick Rollins, Reed Dennis, Roz Skudis, Richard Wedstead, Chris Moretta, Phil Waller, Richard Veen in 60th, followed by Ethan Obzowski, and Tiago Andrade completes the 62 car grid.
All the drivers now working their way to the grid. Just a couple more seconds left to get on the grid before those green lights come on. Every week here in the iGPFun-F3 series, we see a lot of great racing, but also a lot of wrecks. Wreck avoidance is the name of the game. To finish the race, first you must finish, and that is so true in this series. You gotta be fast, but you gotta survive. And here come the lights, 2, 3, 4, 5, engines revving, let's go racing from Brazil. The 98s is gonna lead them into turn number 1, Gianfranco Pagoda. They lead them down into turn number 1, 2 by 2 for second, as everybody tries to settle through the NS.
Lolam gets his nose down to the inside of Hyman. He takes the lead into 2nd place. Great move by him as we're looking out throughout the field coming out of the Senna S. A lot of side-by-side as the 62 cars get through here, and it's a very clean start for the rest of the field. We got a drag race here at the front of the grid. Gianfranco Pagoda followed by Christopher Lolam and Raul J. Hyman, and Hyman goes off the track as it looks like Alex Alcaraz got his nose in there. A lot of smoke. That's the 98 of Clark Williams, and another car went shooting around the outside of him. And where's
it was a
huge
contact back there.
My goodness, so much crazy stuff happening right here. 3 wide heading into one of the tightest corners right now as they head into what some would say the infield, as around is Vitolo Garcia on the outside of the track.
He got loose going through that corner. The car got out from under him and into the grass he went. I believe there's one more car also down there in the grass. As we move back up to the battle for 2nd place between Lolam and Hyman.
Yeah, Pagoda, Loam, and Hyman. We're right on board with Loam right now, looking at Raul J. Hyman and Alex Alcaraz closing in behind him. Hyman goes onto the outside. They're going to go side by side down that front straight, heading into the Senna S's. It's going to be a battle of the last of the late breakers, and already we're having a great fight as Pagoda had a great start, 134.4, and he's pulled away a 1-second gap immediately.
Everybody completing their first lap, going through the Senna S once again on the lap 2. Verani side by side with Laubser.
Oh, there's
one car off track.
There's a nose cone off right there, and somebody hit that hard and off track. That is Marcus G.
There's another car off track taking pretty much the same line that Marcus G took. Not sure who it was. They're back on track now. No wrecks. As This is the battle for 30th between G and Samuel Hermer. No, that is going to be the 92.
Oof. That was a...
Whoa!
Oh, no. G! Late on the brace, gets into the back of Clemson Punzengruber. Punzengruber loses the rear wing. He loses control of his car and has to take the slow way around out there. He's got to be very careful to get that car back into the pits. He's essentially driving a Formula 3 car with Formula 4 aerodynamics on the outside of the track. Stuck out there. Oh my goodness. We got
one car with a lost tire.
I don't think he had any tires on that car. I think he just hit the delete button on everything. And this right here. Oh, no. It just makes... Oh, my goodness. Barely end over end. And it... Oh. Self-destruct button for Wojcik. Very hard. Cars in the pits. Rand, Perez, Punzengruber, and Zomoter, Wojcik, Rubens, William, and Meismer, as well as Patrick Rollins. Oh, man, that's been a chaotic start to this race. Glad we aren't at Bathurst.
Still a battle for the second spot between Hyman and Lolum. Gianfranco Pagodo pulling away out in front, but Hyman wants that second place. Can he get by Lolum in front? He's in that bubble of dirty air that we've seen drivers get stuck in all season long. He's gonna hit the grass, almost loses it. What a save!
Almost goes around. Here's Alex Alcaraz getting very close with him. Raul J. Hyman holding that inside line. And Alcaraz getting his elbows out just a little bit, trying to force Hyman into a little bit of a mistake, but that small lapse in judgment by Hyman is allowing Alex Alcaraz to battle him for third place. They're going to go side by side down the straight.
And Alcaraz going to fall back into line with Hyman. Can he get that slipstream? Yes, he does. Back to the outside. Lolum just ran the fastest lap of the race, so 128.46. And Hyman's going to keep P3.
Yeah, that battle through the Senate S's is so crucial. You can do it around the outside. You can do it onto the inside. As we are looking at Samuel Hermer holding that inside line, then back to the outside, and there's a slow car right there. That's Matt Laubser. And here's Hyman and Alcaraz. Alcaraz once again looking onto that outside line around that double left-hander, getting forced off the track just a little bit by Hyman. Hyman making his car as wide as possible. Here comes Alcaraz looking down to the inside now. It's such a tight move down here. Both are going to be on their tiptoes to make this move happen. Hyman around to the outside. Alex dives it into the inside and almost forces Hyman off the track. Hyman has to drive onto the curbs with there. Hyman defends it so well to stay in third. But here comes Alex. Oh, he's showing the dummy like he was going to send it right there. Great fight between these two drivers. Alcaraz closing in on Hyman. Pagodo holding out on Lowland, but Lowland put in the fast lap last time by. He's now within a second of Pagodo.
You can see Lolum really trying to close that gap, but last time by, Pagodo a lap faster than Lolum. Alcaraz made another look to the outside, cuts back inside through the Senna S. They're still going to go side by side. Hyman on the rumble strip for a second. They're still going to be side by side down the straightaway.
It's a drag race here, Sao Paulo style, as Alex has the speed on the straight, and oh no, they make contact!
Alcaraz in the sand.
Alex tried going around the outside. He was going for his regular line there, but it's just a little hesitant turn in by Hyman, and Alex he couldn't turn in anymore. Instead, he just turned straight into him. It is very unfortunate for Alex Alcaraz. So you see him park it up. Well, just gets caught by that sand trap. Interlagos being in a FIA grade 1 track, you're not going to be seeing a lot of cars hit the wall here, as here's that incident in full. Alex, he's got his nose on him, And he almost gets a full-on, but that late lunge by Hyman just upset him just a little bit. But Alex can stay in this race. Has a little bit of sidebond damage on that left side.
128.378, fastest lap for a second from Pagodo. But then Lowem just set another fastest lap of 128.268. The battle for the lead is heating up as Alcaraz tries to regroup. He's going to go into the top 10 once again, but he slides out.
That slide out was probably strategic to defend from Venabales right behind him, and it worked right there. Venabales, Venables, as my dyslexia is killing me right now.
Pagodo and Lowem so close together. As a lap time comparisons, Lowem lapping faster than Pagodo on lap 2, 3, and 5. Last time by, he just set a new fastest lap right in the slipstream of Gianfranco Pagodo. Question is, can he get by him as they're going to go on to lap 7 this time by? Both going wide through that final corner. And this will set them up for this long straightaway. Closing the gap is Lowem, still 7.5 tenths back. You won't get to him going into 1. And how close will he get when they get there? Down to 7 tenths. Not even in the braking zone yet. 128.392. 5/100th of a second faster that time by is Lowem. Chipping away at that gap. Can he keep him reeled in?
He's closing in inch by inch, and he's in that draft, so he's going to be definitely within that sweet spot. And I believe Lowem is in probably the most preferred position to be catching up to Pagodo, just trying to force him into making mistakes, because Pagodo sees Lowem catching up lap by lap, so he's going to be risking it just a little bit more. And he doesn't have to worry about the cars behind him, as Hyman is 6 seconds behind our leaders. Caitlin Height and Dave Martin are battling out for 14th right now. And after 7 laps, I would say it's probably a good idea to look at our biggest mover in 26th place. Richard Wedstead is up 31 positions, halfway through the grid.
Wedstead always is just so consistently and smooth that he is able to just pick away at spots all day long. He's doing it again.
He's lost his air intake. He's had some incident. Yeah, he doesn't have that air intake. Look on the left side of his car. His air intake's missing. Well, if he's getting a higher top speed on the straight, that's why, but I think that might be affecting his air temperature, so we need to keep a...
We have a new leader. We have a battle for the lead.
Yep.
Lowem took the lead. Lowem took the lead, just ran a fastest lap last time by, 5 tenths quicker than Pagodo, and now here comes Pagodo trying to retaliate.
Yeah, Christopher Lowem had that pace to get ahead of him now. Gianfranco Pagodo, the ball's in his court to make that move. And we aren't even 1/3 of the way through this race, and this battle for the lead is doing great right here. Run out to the curbs once more.
Now Lowem had the speed to get by Pagodo, albeit Pagodo probably made a mistake on that last lap, which caused Lowem to really close up faster than he already was. Now the question is, can Lowem keep Pagodo behind him? Can he lead as well as he chased down?
Well, he was a second outside of Pagodo at the start of this race and chipped that down, so he definitely has the 1 lap pace, but can Pagodo stay in the draft of Lowem and perform behind him? That is the biggest question, but Christopher Lowem, new leader here today as we bring up the Dancing Dots of Doom.
They're really all kind of centered on the top half of that track map there.
Yeah,
It was kind of pulling away.
Yeah, the front two have a massive lead right now. The start of that race, a lot of people were packed up with each other, and they had to do a lot of avoiding. That explains why they were so bunched up back there. I give it 5 more laps, and then they'll be very spread out throughout the field. And here is that move for the lead. Pagodo held that outside line, then out of nowhere, Christopher Lohan dives down to the inside, holds him off, cuts off that nose, and bam, new leader, Christopher Lohan. Battle for 28, no, 27th right now between Rickard Bachberg and Martin Devine. Devine getting all up into that gearbox, does a killer switchback move to get out of the way of Rickard because he had a great exit through that double left-hander, but Rickard stays ahead. And Martin once again looks around that outside line. He's got to keep his eyes in the mirror as Chris Moretta is looking at him. Also, they're probably defending from Richard Wetstead, who's driving that modified F3. And I'm serious, we need to look at, we need to see, oh, no, I think there was contact between, Dirk Provley and Wetstead. Wetstead might have got his nose into the back left wheel heading into that braking zone. And, oh my goodness, we're going to go 3 wide here at Interlagos.
Wetstead looking to improve his positions more, probably on the inside. Wetstead outside, side by side, as they head back to turn number 1. Wetstead has the 21st spot. Can he hold it around the outside? Now going to become the inside through the second half of the center S, and he's going to take it. Now here comes Maruk around the outside of Provley.
Lucas Maruk trying to do identically what Wetstead did. Gets all up into the draft of Dirk Provley. But looking behind him, Ron Kolark going to try to throw a little spinner in the works. And oh no, mistake by Maruk.
He's going to fall back. Now here comes Korolak up into that position. Now Bergeson and Cordella are going to go side by side.
Cordella down to the inside, and they make that move very easily. That corner is so fast. Any tap of the brake is just giving out that position, and you don't want to go through there side by side. And Cordella put their car absolutely where they needed to be. Up into 4th. Gavin Petty versus Arthur Fry. Going to have a little drag race here in Interlagos. All the way at the pit wall. Arthur Fry is going to look onto that outside line, and he's nailed that one perfectly. Sammy Venables versus Philip Lucas. Going through the Senna S's. Both of them have been having very positive days, up 9 places and 7 places for both of them. And
Lucas just sitting right behind Venables.
Yeah, Philip is just hunting him down, closing in, deciding when to make his move here at Interlagos. Got to strategize a little bit, because when you're in a don't really have a lot of threats behind him, he can relax off the attack just a little bit, but I feel like both of them are trying to catch up to Matt Laubser right here and take advantage of him and try to have a three-way battle for 10th as Laubser just enters our battle box range.
Three-car group pretty close together. We go back up to the battle for the lead. Here comes Pagodo. He's within a 10th. Is he going to go for the move? He goes down the inside into turn 1. Wollum on the outside becomes the inside. He's going to keep the lead. Trying to stay in the slipstream down this long straightaway. A DRS zone in Formula 1 cars. No DRS on these Formula 3s. Diving back into turn number 3.
No all-track penalties here. Wollum using all the track that he wants to. Definitely be giving him a penalty in real life. Or at least invalidating his time and nothing during the race in F1 standards. As Pagodo tries to close in on him. He had a great line through there, jumped the entire curve. As this is not a, I'm not sure if these guys have a drive-through incident limit. Do they, Josh?
I am not sure they do. I'll check right now. They have no incident limit. They have 27X will give them a penalty.
That's what it is. Every 27 off tracks, they will get a drive-through. So, technically, it is an incident limit, but it's a very high incident limit to even get on your own because there's 30 laps here, and you get an incident if you're pushing about once every other 2 laps. Currently, Lowland and Pagoda are at 6 and 5, so they're within the margin of error.
Wallen got very far up on the rumble strip going through the center S that time. Didn't lose much time to Pagoda. We hop back to the battle between Varani and Alex Alcaraz. The second Alcaraz, Mark Alcaraz, sitting behind these two in 9th.
Varani down on Alex Alcaraz. Alcaraz, whoa, very nicely done. Alcaraz back into 7th, trying to get back up to that top 3 where he was. Battle for 42nd between Veen and Zomotor. So we're going to go side by side down the front straight.
Zomotor going to take that spot away from Richard Veen. Oh, now he's going to try and get past Punzengruber.
Punzengruber made a mistake through the S's, and now Zomotor is up into 41st.
Great move from Zomotor to see Punzengruber up ahead of him, make that mistake, and really just turn it up. Oh, 2 rounds!
No!
Zachary Beeson is one of them.
I think, yeah. Beeson and Santos, I believe, are the 2 cars involved. Here's Johan Bergeson. Yeah, it was Bergeson and Beeson. Oh no, this is a dive.
Oh.
And then it was.
Oh, and he got loose trying to avoid it.
Johan Bergeson dives it onto the inside of Antonio Rzeski. And, well, it's just chain reaction of you see something right there, then you hit the brakes just a little bit. That corner is just slanted, so any extra appliance to the brakes is just going to send the car around.
On board now with Samuel Hermer looking back on Petty. Great last name on Gavin Petty.
Oh yeah, very famous last name. Yeah, if you're a NASCAR fan, I'm not sure of any famous Pettys in road course racing. Do you?
I don't think there is any. Richard Petty had a couple road course races win, I think.
Yeah, Richard Petty raced road courses, but mostly famous as the king in NASCAR. But Gavin Petty doing very nicely in 6th place as Lon Kolark looks like he was just tapped by Lucas Maroon.
Ron Kolak running in between Probably and Maruk right now. Everybody right now really just finding their groove, halfway done with the race. Now it's all trying to use what they've got left in the tires and in the cars to try and get as much position as they can before the checkered flag drops. So everybody's starting to spread out more and more, but we still have battles on the racetrack. This is Punzengruber and Bond.
Punzengruber down to the inside, but Bond swung it around the outside. Very nicely done by Daniel Bond on Clemens Punzengruber, who's going to try to get that draft back and get back up into 43rd place. And as they race down this straight, everyone's in a very timely manner as we're halfway through this race. This race is brought to you by North World Sim. North World Sim, similar parts and innovative solutions, is your sim racing house for cockpits, pedals, steering wheels, parts, all you need. Here you have it at North World Sim.
Wallum leads ahead of Pagodo, Hyman, Fry, Hermer, Alcaraz, Petty, Varani, Alcaraz, and Laupser. That is your current top 10 here on the racetrack as we go on to lap number 16.
Loham's
Officially now over halfway.
Loham pulling out a gap on Pagodo now. Pagodo's been falling back inch by inch now. As here's Alex Alcaraz down to the inside of Hermer. They're going to go side by side through the S's. Alcaraz gets his nose onto the inside, getting back on the throttle just a little bit earlier, and Alex back up into 5th place. Side by side, White and Luis. White swinging around to the outside, Luis holding down that inside line. We got a pack of cars heading up into the S's. This is the battle for 22nd between Korlak, Cardella, Marik, Provley, and Bogbird. Oh, look at the fight by Bogbird and Provley. Bogbird, oh no! Oh no, Dirk Provley into the wall. He can't believe it. Rickard Bogbird diving down to the inside last minute, and then that is a very common incident you see here at Interlagos. Very unfortunate. Yeah, leaders coming down to the S's. If you're paying attention to our track map in our top right corner, you can see that they're about to hit traffic. Loham and Pagodo separated by 1.1 seconds. That traffic could make or break this race for Christopher Loham. So here is Matt Laupser on Mark Alcaraz. An absolute send heading into turn 1. Had that move halfway through that corner. Stuart Millen onto the inside. Dave Martin round to the outside. Martin into 13th. He's up 10 spots. Dave Richard Wedstead in that Formula 3 car without an air intake. More naturally aspirated engine than the other ones with the forced induction with that air intake that the Formula 3 car usually has on the side of the car. Well, it's working out for him. Even though all these cars are naturally aspirated, he just doesn't have air intake being directed into his pipes. And, ooh.
Oh, Provley's in pit lane.
Big damage. Look at this wing. His rear wing in front left is very damaged. Oh, yeah, that's what happened at turn 1. Of course we could have took that right after that.
Wallum still leading. Oh, once around the center S.
48th, who's in 48th right? 49th now. It's Richard Veen. Veen's off the wall. It was JJ Gonzalez.
Unfortunate for Gonzalez. He's not going to be way down the order after spinning, and he was in the grass. Did not see an opportunity to really pull back onto the racetrack, as we pretty much have cars everywhere on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, it looks like a good Trans Am race right now, as everyone is just all spread out throughout the track and very nicely going along with each other, even though they're racing for a competition right now. And this is a great event, especially if you're a spectator, and I really want to see 62 car grids in real life. But the highest capacity Formula grid we've ever had start a race from all Formula 4 to Formula 1 is 38 cars for the Formula 4 at the USGP in 2019. I was at that race. Sadly not in it, but I was there. Lucas Verani and Samuel Hermer going nose to tail with each other heading through Interlagos.
Verani really trying to use that slipstream off of Hermer to try and slingshot by, and you can see just a huge train of cars all trying to draft off of each other, much like you'd see in the NASCAR Cup Series or any NASCAR series at Daytona or Talladega. And here at Interlagos, these straightaways, especially those ones that have those DRS signs that are used as DRS zones in Formula One, are really good for slipstreams and slingshotting past competitors.
Yeah, even without DRS, the track is very heavy through here. As ooh, that's a that's one of the laps cars. That is they're probably after he came out of the pit lane. And, ooh. We have an incident up farther into the track at the hairpin, as Verani and Hermer go side by side. Hermer down to the inside, gets his nose ahead of Verani. Verani back down to the inside, side by side. He dives down to the inside. They got that car that was stuck right here cleared. As Samuel Hermer trying to chase down with Verani. He is in that gearbox. So they race up into the sun here at Sao Paulo and down that front straight.
Oh, look at the draft from Hermer on Verani. Here he goes. Trying to take that position back, and he does.
Hermer sealed the deal with that move, but now, oh no, is it behind him? Petty!
Who's that around? Is that Alcaraz?
It was probably.
Probably.
It's always probably.
Just more unfortunate events for probably. Not the best luck here in Interlagos this week.
I think probably's cursed at this track. Every time we've seen a car go off or go into the pits or have an incident, it's always probably. To quote, he's probably wearing the shirt that says, "Why always me now?"
Why me?
Hopefully next week is better for him.
Alcaraz running behind Venables. Back into the front. Lolum and Pagoda still 1-2. But
That gap
Pagoda
has fallen
continuing,
down.
yeah, he's continuing to fall though. 1 second, and look at that! Look at the comparison in the lap times. Almost 5/10 the gap between Lolum and Pagoda. 0.487, the exact gap between those lap times. But Pagoda got 0.6 back. I think possibly because of that lap traffic that he's seeing in front of him. There goes Lolum around the lap traffic. But when he's not trying to pass the lap traffic, he's getting that slipstream, and Petty's in pit road with damage.
Yeah, Petty, after that incident with that lap car, probably, he's definitely not going to be happy about that. Because he's having a great race, too.
Verani and Hermer still battling. Oh, scrap heap at the Senna S between Cardella and Maruk behind. They're going to go into turn number 3. Still in this 3-car gap. Oh, Cardella goes wide. Here comes Maruk.
Yeah, Cardella was playing a few games on that entry, but on the exit of that corner just went a bit wide, and that's allowing Lucas Maruk to start closing in on Waldemar Cardella. And oh no, there's a mistake by Korlak. He goes wide. And now they're all three nose to tail with each other.
Definitely great racing going on here in the midfield. Wide entry into that final corner. Oh, right again for Cardella.
Korlak got a little bit loose, but Cardella got even looser, and now that battle is going to go side by side as Lucas Maruk and Cardella are going to go drag racing here in Sao Paulo. Almost into the pit lane goes Cardella. There's the inside track, then there's the inside of the inside track. That's where the marshals hang out. As well
Don't want
as
to get
the
too close to those marshals.
yeah, I hear that, especially the Italian ones, they get very feisty. Ben White looks around to the outside, late dive for him. I think that was more of a trying to avoid Vitolo Garcia than as a overtaking maneuver, because around the outside of that corner is just suicide. Look back from Samuel Hermer onto Luca Ferrari in that 222. So they race down that front straight.
Luca Ferrari in the slipstream once again. This is how Hermer passed him before. He's going to try the same thing. Down to the inside into turn 1.
He got the area, but he's not there, in a bit of a slide by Ferrari. But he's got it moved. He got the move made. He got it to the curbing. Luca Ferrari up into 6th place. And Samuel Hermer now on the attack, and he's already beside him, heading into the double left-hander. Ferrari, Hermer side by side, and Hermer going all the way down to Argentina with that move. Just geographically correct, because that is the southernmost point of the circuit.
This battle between Hermer and Ferrari, I feel like, is going to keep going on, because they keep each getting, not really pulling away from each other. On the front stretch, they catch right back up and make a pass going down into 1. Oh my goodness, Perez!
Bump drafting.
Wow, he is bump drafting, and I believe that's Ren behind him trying to make a pass.
Oh, so close with these two. Bump drafting ahead in there. Ron Kurlak and Luis Perez. Man, this fight's heating up. Marcus G getting past Rod McGuire. Had a ton of speed headed out of the S's. And G was in that lap 1 incident, multiple incidents held on lap 1. Trying to get back up through the field, currently sitting in 36th place.
Back up to the front with Christopher Wollum and Pagodo. Pagodo slightly faster last 2 laps, but not enough to really close that gap. Gap is 1.3 seconds, and it continues to pretty much remain the same or widen. He hasn't really made up much time.
Yeah, Christopher Lolham, as they got through that first part of traffic, they're about to enter 6 laps to go here at Interlagos. Comes across the line, and that gap has opened up to about 1.5 seconds. So Pagodo is still within striking distance, but he has to make up that places and that gap very quickly. But I would say if they keep it like here, if neither of them don't battle each other, they're definitely in a lock for 1st and 2nd unless something happens. Which, as soon as that came out of my mouth, that was probably a curse on one of these drivers, and I'm sorry. About a 33rd. Beeson. And Phil Waller going side by side. Waller holding that outside line now to the inside of the line. A little bit of a lockup, as Marcus G is got a great look at this fight. Zachary Beeson makes up the move on Waller. She tried to go down to the inside, unable to find it.
You can remember from earlier, Beeson got spun around going through turn 3. Or spun himself out, I should say. Just got a little loose, went around, and he has done a great job rebounding. Back up in the 34th, still on the lead lap.
G all up in that draft's got a great run. Are we going to see him throw it down to the inside? Yes, we are. G into turn 1. And G gets it done up in the 35th. And there is our leader. Christopher Lohan, 1.5 seconds leading Pagono. Caitlin Height and Vitolo Garcia battling it out for 14th.
This is the battle to stay in the top 10. Ben White, you can see him really behind, 2 seconds behind the road. So we move up to Alex Alcaraz and Arthur Fry.
Side by side, and Fry is, well, kind of in a tough spot. Has to get around the 09, and Alex just buried him right there. And he's closing in on third, just has a, 8-second gap to third spot, but he's back into fourth place after his incident. So great recovery drive by Alex Alcaraz.
Lohan leads, continuing to put a couple more cars laps down. Pagono just falling off the base. He led so much earlier in the race, but Lohan got by, and he said, see you later, and he is now 1.7 seconds up the road.
Yeah, and as now 4 laps to go. I want to say, let's check back in on Richard Wedstead. He's up 40 spots now. 40. Once again, 40 spots.
That is an insane amount of spots.
I think that's the highest position count that we've had so far this season. And I think he's looking at 41 right now because he's closing in on Ben White.
Using the slipstream on Ben White to take over 16th. Not close enough to really take advantage of it as well as he was hoping.
I gotta say something though. I feel like that damage, that missing air intake is giving him a little bit of a straight line speed because it's not having the drag impact like it usually would be. So I think he has a little bit higher top speed than the rest of the field. I think. Don't quote me though. And here's Wedstead already up onto the gearbox of White.
Can he get by him? Tight hairpin. Look at how great Wedstead took that corner. He's going to be right on the back wing of Ben White. Wedstead looking to pass White. Will he get by him? He's going to have a passing opportunity going down into this final corner. Not going to take it. Now he's going to use the slipstream on the front straightaway. Ferrani going side by side with Hermer. They got a lap car there too. The lap car's going to hold up Samuel Hermer. They almost make contact.
Oh my goodness, great fight. Luca Ferrani holds it off for 6th place.
Oh, here comes Hermer. Looking to the outside of Ferrani. Oh, now Hermer's going to have the draft up the hill. Cuts to the inside. Ferrani tries to hold him off. Not able to.
Oh, he's going to be challenging him, but Hermer on that inside line just swings ahead and cuts off Luca Ferrani. Hermer's up there, but he jumps across the curb, and Ferrani now onto the attack. What a fight with 3 laps to go.
Using the slipstream once again, a 128.254. Even on lap 28, Lohan is still setting fastest lap of the race. But the battle right now that we're focusing on, Hermer and Ferrani. Oh, Hyman just had fastest lap of the race, 128.244.
Raul Hyman is racing on the road, putting in a little bit of the work right now. Fast lap of the race.
Does Ferrani have anything for Hermer down into turn 1? 2 laps to go.
Trying for a little switch back.
Locks up behind him.
Hyman, though, he knew where that car was going to go. He held it out to the inside and shut the door on Luca Verani. Verani getting a good run off the exit, looking onto that outside. They're going to go side by side with 2 laps to go. Luca Verani and Samuel Hermer going to go side by side once more. Verani trying for another switchback move, and also behind him, Senny Venables and Matt Laubser going to go side by side, as well as Verani and Hermer. Just side by side race we got going on. Verani once again held out onto the outside of that fast corner. It's going to be a white flag next time that they come back through that corner, as here is Christopher Loham bringing out the white flag here in Brazil.
Wallum takes the white flag, but still 2 laps to go for Verani and Hermer. They're going to have one more lap when they come across the start-finish line to do battle and try and get 6th place. That is the goal for Verani. The goal for Hermer, hold Verani off. He hasn't been able to do that too well, but he's been able to get by him when he has gotten past. Down the front straightaway once again. Verani in the slipstream. Will he use it? No.
Verani's setting up
Carlington
something
a half
big.
up front.
Oh, Venables, though, making the dive on Matt Laubser, getting through the tiniest of gaps to get up into 8th place. Samuel Hermer, Verani, back to that fight. As we see behind them, Venables and Laubser going to go side by side. Laubser holding that outside line. Venables onto the inside line. Laubser doing a way around the outside. Now he's going to be set up for the inside line. Venables needs to make a very brave move through this corner. Can he hold it on as Laubser gets onto that inside line? Laubser up into 8th. And it is all smiles and cheers as coming across the line, taking the win, number 60, Christopher Loham.
Pagoda is going to come home second and final lap of the race, a 1:28.244. He ties the lap set by Raul Hyman, but Hyman's still going to come home. They both tied for the fastest lap of the race. Hyman comes home in 3rd.
Samuel Hermer's going to hold off his position ahead of Luca Ferrari. Hermer up 5 spots to lock in 6th place. Sammy Venables defending. Here comes Matt Laubser going to try to steal it at the line. Laubser,
He did!
A nose. I think that's 8 thousandths of a second. Separated them at the line. Laubser. No. Venables has scored ahead of Laubser. Venables had it.
Laubser looks to be scored ahead of Venables on our timing tower.
On your timing tower, it is. On my timing tower, it says Venables ahead of Laubser.
And our producer Marco said his says Laubser as well. So very close finish. Hopefully we can grab a replay of that finish and see exactly who was in front when they crossed the start finish line.
3 thousandths of a second between them.
Oh my!
As Alexander Wren shows his displeasure for this. Here is that replay for y'all right now. And the final lap between Laubser and Venables.
Coming through the long left-hander.
And into the hair. Venables got a good run through there. And here is Matt Laubser lined up for that draft. One last braking zone to do, and this is where this race was made. Oh yeah. Coming through there, he just had to bury himself into that draft and coming up onto the straight. It's not really a straight, it's a giant curve, but it's so long and easy to drive that it's just considered a straight. Here's the move. Into the inside, coming to the line.
Oh my goodness.
3 thousandths of a second. It is Matt Laubser.
That was so close at the finish.
3 thousandths of a
Unbelievable.
second.
Unbelievable.
Absolute crazy racing at the end to go 3,000 of a second. As our race results are going up on the screen right now. Josh, take us through it.
Your winner was Christopher Lolum in second, Gianfranco Progoto, third, Raul Hyman, Alex Alcaraz, Arthur Fry rounds out your top 5 with Samuel Hermer, Luca Verani, Matt Laubser, Sammy Venables, Mark Alcaraz, Philip Lucas, Dave Martin, Stuart Millen, Vitolo Garcia, and Caitlin Height, rounding out your top 15 with Richard Wedstead, Ben White, James Thulis, Adam Tausma, and Andy Flint rounding out your top 20. Gavin Petty, Waldemar Cardella, Andrea Bracchetti, Rickard Boberg, Alexander Wren, Luis Perez, Lucas Maruk, Antonio Bruzewski, Giovanni Saletto, and Ron Korolak rounding out your top 30. With Johnny Coco, Will McIntyre, Martin Devine, Marcus G, Clemens Punzengruber, Zoltan Zometer, Rod McGuire, Russell Kirkwood, Chuck Morrow, and Johan Bergeson rounding out your top 40. Daniel Bond, Christian Glamsetter, JJ Gonzalez, Ross Goodacre, Zachary Beeson, Alex Hopkins, Chris Trott, Phil Waller, Richard Veen, Steve Rubens rounds out your top 50. With Dirk Provoli, Andre Santos, Reed Dennis, Chris Moretta, Gregory Meismer, Wojtek Podzik, Stratus Kurlikitsis, Clark Williams, Patrick Rowlands, then David Bulatar rounding out your top 60, then Ethan Osowiski and Tiago Andrade rounding out your 62-car grid, Austin. And it looks like we're going to bring in Luca Verani. Austin, take it away.
Yep, join here with Luca. Howdy, Luca. How are you doing? How was that race, man?
Hi guys, it was entertaining for me.
It certainly was. To finish out today in 7th, you had a great fight with Samuel Hermer and a few other cars through the grid. What were some highlights of today?
Well, it was all about the tires and downforce. Sam had gone for a faster car on the straight, so he could pass me very easily. I had more downforce, my tires were better off at the end, and I managed to move ahead, I think, four laps from the end or so, and build a 0.8 second gap. But then I found 2 lap cars battling with each other in the slow section side by side, and Sam caught me, and that was it. But a lot of nice and clean side-by-side racing.
It got a little bit crazy at times, especially on lap 1, a little bit congested. Next week, it is Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Any words to the competitors before you head there?
Well, I don't know this race, it was clean around me, but I don't know what else happened. But in the last couple of races, we have not been as clean as in the iGPFun tradition, so we have stressed this in the race briefing. If people still haven't behaved in Interlagos, we will certainly try to do something for Bathurst, Mount Panorama, because you cannot afford not even an accident, but not even a slide over there. The track is going to be blocked, and 50 cars are going to pile into each other. So we really need to be on our best game.
Yeah, it certainly is, but at least for you, it was a very clean day. Up 3 spots, another top 10 for you. Before we let you go, Luca, anyone you want to thank?
Thank you, guys. As always, I always say that, but we all really appreciate your broadcasts. We meet just after the race, midnight European time, to watch your broadcast together, and we always enjoy it. Thank you for all the drivers for racing, and thank you to all the drivers that actually donated to support the league and the broadcast and everything. Thanks you all, guys, and thanks for people connecting to watch. I hope they enjoy the race.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to enjoy this finish we had. 2 cars separated by 0.003 of a second.
Good. You know, one thing I should add is that I'm racing like Prost, which I always hated when I was younger and looking at Formula 1. I'm thinking about the overall standings, so I'm battling with Sam for the 3rd spot, and I'm thinking about that more than the race position. That's a bit weird for me.
Well, sometimes when you find yourself racing, you sometimes turn into the person that you despise the most and your hero. And, well, that is definitely a Prost-like mentality that you're going for.
Yeah, and anyway, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate your broadcast. You are doing an excellent work.
Thank you, Luca. I'm going to throw it over for Josh. He's going to end us out.
Thank you all for watching the iGPFun-F3 series here on Apex Racing TV. Tune in next week, same time, Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, for another round of the iGPFun-F3 series. For Marco Barbanera, Austin Knight, I am Joshua Lee. We're saying good night from Interlagos.